I welcome you all in this video. In this lecture, we will talk about the stresses in the key. Okay, more particularly, I'm going to talk about the stresses in the sunk key. So as we know that there are two types of sunk key, either the key may be flat or which is also called as rectangular, or key may be square. Okay, we know that a rectangular key indicates that this width of key cross section and height of key cross section is not same. Okay, and width is greater than height. For square key, this both width and height are same. Okay, so we will derive the equation for flat or rectangular key, and also we will derive the equation for square key. So let us consider this is a shaft. Okay, so here we will write this is a shaft. This is a hub. As we know that hub may be hub of pulley, flywheel or gear, or it may be hub of coupling. Then this is a key, and this is the width of key, this is the height of key. Okay, and let us assume that this shaft is rotating in clockwise direction. If the shaft is rotating in clockwise direction, then this force P will act on this face. Okay, now let us consider this is the point A, this is the point C, this is the point B, and this is the point D. During the power transmission, the shaft is rotating in clockwise direction and force P is acting on this face AC. The force P is acting on this face AC. Okay, as the shaft is rotating in clockwise direction, the force will act on this face AC in towards a right direction. Okay, now this is the force exerted by shaft on the key on this face AC, which is force P acting towards a right side. Now there has to be reaction. There has to be reaction from hub. So there will be a force acting on this face DB. There will be a force acting on this face DB towards left side. This is force P dash. Okay, so this P is nothing but the applied force by shaft on the key on this face AC, and this P dash is the force which is actually a reaction from hub which is acting on this face DB. Okay, so if you consider this force P and P dash, so as this is the applied force P and this is the reactive force P dash, both are equal. This is the applied force, this is the reactive force, so both are equal. Okay, so this force P actually tries to rotate this key in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so this force P actually tries to rotate this key in anti-clockwise direction, which anti-clockwise rotation of this key is prevented by this reactive force P dash, which tries to oppose this anti-clockwise rotation of key. Okay, now you have to consider one very important point, that as this force P acting on this face AC, its exact location is not known. So we have to consider this force P acting tangential to this shaft. Okay, again I will repeat, as we don't know exact location of this force P acting on this face AC, so we have to assume this force P acting tangential to this shaft at point A. So we have to consider the assumed direction of force P, which is tangential to this shaft. Okay, so this is the modified location of this force P acting at point A, and which is tangential to this shaft. Okay, so just we have assumed it is acting tangential to this shaft at point A, as its location is not known. Okay, so we know that torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Okay, now let us consider the actual parameters that we have to consider for each parameter considered here. Okay, we have to consider one certain notation. So torque, we have to denote it by mt. Okay, then force, already we have denoted it by P, into perpendicular distance is distance from this center. Okay, if D is the diameter of shaft, if D is the diameter of shaft, then perpendicular distance will be D by 2. Okay, D by 2, radius is D by 2. Okay, now from this equation we have to find out P. So P is equal to twice mt divided by D. So this is the equation of force acting acting on the key from the shaft. Okay, if you talk about this reaction P dash, it will have the same value because we know that action is always equal to reaction. Now after deriving this force P equation, we have to find out the stresses induced in this key. Okay, so as we know that this is the sunk key, either it may be rectangular key or square key. Okay, so in this sunk key we know that the half of this height, total height is h, so half of height is in key. Okay, half of height of this key is in shaft and half of height is in hub. Okay, so out of this total height, this hub portion will be in the shaft. Okay, so this h by 2 will be in the shaft, and this remaining half portion will be h by 2 will be in hub. Okay, so by considering this, the half portion is in shaft and half portion is in hub, we will consider two stresses, shear stress and crushing stress in the key, and let us draw the diagram for this both the stresses. Now let us consider the first failure of key is shear stress. Okay, due to shear stress. So let us consider the shear stress in the key. So this is a key and this dimension is B, that is width is B, and then the total height of this key, we know that it is h, so total height of this key is h. So in the shear failure, the half portion will remains in the shaft and half portion remains in the hub, and the failure takes place along this line AB. Okay, so failure takes place along this line AB. So this is a point A and this is a point B. So failure takes place along this line AB, which is a shear failure because it is parallel to this force applied P. Okay, so this is the B width that remains same, but the height will get divided for this diagram because this half portion having height h by 2 it is in shaft and half portion having height h by 2 it is in hub. Okay, so now this third parameter, dimensional parameter for this key is length. So this is dimension of this key, that is length L. Okay, now let us write the equation for shear stress. So we know that shear stress tau is equal to P upon A, and if you talk about the area, so this hatched portion is the area subjected to shear stress, and this area is clearly it is L into B. Okay, so this dimension is B, so this B into L is the area subjected to shear stress. So we can write here tau is equal to P upon this B into L, Okay, but from this equation we know that P is equal to twice mt upon D. So let us write this value of P here. So put the value of P as twice mt upon D here. So tau is equal to twice mt upon D into this, previously it is B into L. So this is the equation of shear stress in the key. Okay, so for this, if this key is of a rectangular type, okay, so you can write here dBl. Okay, but if it is a square key, then this B and H are same, so either you can write here H or B if it is a square key, but as it is a rectangular key, you have to write here B only. Okay, so this is the equation for shear stress in the key. Now let us consider the crushing stress in the key, and consider this is a key having width B, total height H and length L. Okay, so out of this total height H, the half portion is in shaft and half portion is in hub. So both the surfaces on this LHS are subjected to crushing stress. Okay, the half portion is subjected to crushing stress due to shaft, and half portion is subjected to crushing stress due to hub. Okay, so but to find out the stress, either we have to consider the stress applied by shaft or stress which is the reactive stress from this hub. Okay, so let us consider the stress applied by shaft on this lower half portion. So this height will be h by 2. Okay, so this height will be h by 2. Now this hatched portion represents the area subjected to crushing stress. So we know that crushing stress sigma c is given by P upon A. In this equation we can put the value of A, that is area subjected to crushing stress. It is h by 2 into L. Okay, this height of this rectangular area which is subjected to crushing stress is h by 2 and length is L. So we can write here h by 2 into L. So but we know that P is equal to twice mt upon D. Okay, so we have to put here value of P, but sigma c is equal to P is twice mt upon D into this h by 2 into L. Okay, so we have to simplify this a little bit. So take this 2 on the numerator, so it becomes 4 mt upon DHL. So this is the equation of crushing stress in the key. Okay, so equation of shear stress is twice mt upon dBl, and equation of crushing stress is 4 mt upon DHL. Okay, by assuming that this is a rectangular key. If you assume that this is a square key, then we know that for square key this width B and height h are same. So we can write here, if you put here B as it is, dBl twice mt upon dBl is the shear stress. If you replace here h by B, because h and B are same for square key, so this equation becomes 4 mt upon dBl. Okay, so like this you can consider while solving the numerical. Okay.